So as we left off, what is the methods to smoking the hides?
Smoking the hides, well, you can either use like the type of wood, but you don't want to have a fire, because if you have a fire, it doesn't take much heat to burn this, and then your hide's ruined. So what I use is charcoal. I get charcoal and put lighter fluid on it, whatever, and let it set for about 10 minutes, and then after that I'll come back, put some more on it. 5 minutes later I'll light it and let it get ashy, and then I'll grab the type of wood I'm going to use, whether it's hickory. Hickory will give it a darker yellow color, and different types of wood, like I said, will give you different types of color. But charcoal is the best way to use it, because you don't want a smoldering fire. Or a flaming fire. You want smoke, not heat. Heat will tear the hide. It'll destroy the hide, and it's worthless.
And how do they smoke these, or do they smoke the hides, the buffalo hides, for the drums?
Raw hides you don't smoke. You basically do the same step as deer, but lime and stuff or ash, and all you do then is you soak it for a couple days until the hair starts to fall off, and then all you do is just wipe the hair off. You don't touch that grain, because if you touch the grain, what they call top grain on this rawhide, you can't use it, so you might as well just turn it into brain tan, because that top grain protects the skin from moisture and stuff. And then if you do nick it, then you're going to have cracks in your rawhide. So, and to do that process is the same thing as doing deer. You'll just stretch it after you take all the hair off, rinse it and wash it, and then stretch it in a frame and let it sit for 2 or 3 days until you get ready to use it.
And how expensive are these drums when you make these drums?
This drum I basically have $100 in it, because I do the rawhide and the lacing myself. So I basically just buy the wood, and this here is a Romantic Eastern Red Cedar, and it's a softer wood, and this is more of like a ceremonial type of wood. You don't want to go to a powwow with Eastern Red Cedar, because I've been told a lot of people in the powwow that some elders will frown upon having this type of wood, this drum at a powwow, because it's more for ceremonial purposes and not powwows. And the softer your wood is, the thicker you want your wood species to be, your wood. The harder the wood, like hickory, you can go up down to a ½ inch, because it can hold the integrity of it. And I made this one, and I'd be willing to teach anybody who wants to learn how to make this also. If you have access to a table saw, that's all I need. And I can show you in 15-20 minutes how to make one. And it'll look so good. It'll look like a tree stone. And anything that I know how to do, I'm willing to share with everybody.
So how much are these dresses that we make? How much do these go for?
When you get a brain tan hide like that one, if it was smoked and everything, and they go anywhere from $150, depending on the size, up to $400. A good elk hide will go up to about $800 or $900. A moose hide, you're looking brain tan, smoked, you're looking at around $1,800 to $2,500, depending on the thickness and the quality of it. Because moose hide is a lot better moccasin material for boots than, say, deer. It'll be moose, then elk, then deer. And this type of dress right here, I was, $3,500 at a powwow, and I turned it down because this is my first one I ever made. I've never made one before, and it took me 6 months and a lot of cigarettes of being nervous to do this, because the way this leather works, it's way different than any other type of leather out there. Because if you make this type of dress for somebody, that person has to be there with you so that you can actually measure, because this hide stretches all kinds of different ways. And it's a different type of this is a southern, and it took me a while to make it, and you'll learn to appreciate the hard work that you put into it, because when you put the hard work into doing a deer hide, you'll see why it's worth the money.
It's worth the effort to make it too.
And beating on brain tan, a lot of beaters out there, if they ever beat it on, they can tell you that this is all they want to mess with when they beat anything is brain tan. And that's because it doesn't have that top grain level or layer on it.
So it's
we,
easier to feed?
yeah.
When do you think you'll come back?
Whenever y'all will get together and let me know, and I'll be willing to shoot back up here and teach buffalo if that's what y'all want to do. I can get the buffalo hides. I got access to them. Anybody can get access to them, but you know, learning. I'd rather me teach people than somebody else going out and trying it and wasting the buffalo hide or wasting deer hides. You know, because then that causes frustration because they can't get it right, so they just quit. So therefore, you just lost somebody else that was interested in the culture and didn't really have the knowledge, so they gave up on it. And that's why I'm here, is to keep people from doing that. And all the tricks and trades that I have that I've taught everybody out here today or this whole week seem like I, you know, was that smart, and I wasn't. You know, I had to go through all this stuff to myself to figure out the tricks and trades that I've taught everybody out here. You know, I had to go through all that. And sometimes I'll let people learn so that they won't make that same mistake again. You know, kind of like you.
Yeah, you're a good teacher.
I'd rather let, you know, some part of it, I'll let them learn a little bit harder, you know, a little bit more manual labor, and then they'll appreciate the easier way. That way they'll always know that they can always do it. You know, if you start out doing it the easy way like I do, and you put so many holes in your hides or you mess it up, then you'll care less, but you just, I don't want to do it no more. Because the product that you were so excited to do, now it looks like a chain link fence. So, you know, holes all in it. So that's why I try to teach people that way, is so they won't go through that. Because I've done it, but I had to stick with it. You know, I also make bows, long bows, also flint knap, make arrowheads, make bone arrows.
So that's how they make bows? You can make that with hide too?
Yeah, you can actually use the skin with the grain on it as a backing for the bow. You know, there's a lot of uses that you can use brain tan and rawhide for.
Yeah,
you know, it's one of the most green thing out there, they call it. You know, natural, that you can actually reuse all the time, is rawhide. No. Okay, when I teach people this, you know, brain tanning, drum making, buffalo hides, I get all the hides, and I don't charge anybody nothing. It's all free. You know, because I don't feel that it's right to charge something that we once had, our ancestors had, and I feel that there's a lot of people out there that will try to rip people off to learn this, when I'll do it for free. I'll just come up here and do it. I'll unload everything and we can go at it, so there's no money involved, none. But I always ask one thing for the people I do teach, is that when you do learn it and somebody asks you, I'd appreciate it if you would teach them. My name's James Tom. I live in Stillwater, Minnesota, and if you want to contact me, I have an email, tomjt182@me.com, it's all lowercase, or you can give me a call at 651-408-4769, or contact Jim North.
And the tradition continues.
Yeah.
Thank you.